The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and each week we bring you the goings-on in the towns and villages in our coverage area. This week we're going to be starting with Ginny Floss, pinch hitting for Rick Milne, the village of Honeoye Falls. What's going on there?
I get to start, huh? Okay, a lot is going on. A lot is going on in all these communities, right? First of all, I want to thank first responders and our DPW crew and any volunteers who are working with the firefighters for all the work they do in the community. There was a lot of wind damage during those storms the last few weeks, and the crews are out there trying to finish up cleaning up from those of you who have branches and stuff, bring them out to the curb. They're also using our brand new street cleaner, which everybody's really excited about, and they're clearing out the catch basins along the street. So if you see work crews out there pulling things out of the catch basins, please be careful, slow down, and give them some room so they can do their work. We are in the midst, as everyone else is, of our budget process. It's going smoothly so far. We announced recently that our village administrator, Brian Anderson, is retiring in November. Sadly, he is deeply involved in a number of projects, big projects going on in the village right now with the mayor. And so some of those responsibilities will be shifted to Mayor Milne and to other people on our staff to temporarily until we can find, a really good replacement for Brian, which is going to be hard. We're figuring out the logistics on all that right now. Just a brief thing, the eclipse is coming up, and I saw that the library is giving out eclipse glasses if you have a card for the library. So you can go over there and get a free eclipse glasses thing so that you are safe if you're looking at the eclipse in April until they run out. Let's see. You can also buy them at local businesses. Business updates. We have a new restaurant on the Four Corners. TK's on the Falls is open. Just opened this past week. Has that beautiful view of the falls outside, and when the weather's nice, that'll be great. So please go and enjoy it. And then right around the corner on Ontario Street, ours has opened. It's a estate sale, consignment, and there's a lot of stuff in there. It looks like a fun little shop right next to Yoga Love on Ontario Street. Historical Society, I'm the liaison for them. So the museum is temporarily closed because they're redoing the exhibits inside. Thanks to a lot of public feedback. There are some exciting plans and very dedicated volunteers who are in there doing this work. So the plan is to reopen May 19th. That's a Sunday. They're always open on Sunday, 2 to 4. So you can see them then. Also, I believe they'll be open during the Eco Fair and also the Festival in the Falls, which is in August. That's a Saturday. Let's see. We mentioned before about the Townsend Monument at the cemetery. It looks like a giant tree stump. When they took it apart, there's a document inside. So it's a genealogy of the Townsend family. It's been restored and preserved and given to the museum. That will be part of the display somehow. They're trying to figure out how to do it safely so the very fragile document doesn't get damaged. And yeah, I think that's about it. Any other village updates, you can find them on the Honeoye Falls, New York Facebook page or the Honeoye Falls Mendon community page, and also news about events and information about the village at the villageofhoneoyefalls.org website. And that's it.
Okay, thanks, Ginny. Over to Mike Falk in the town of Lima. Also, maybe some sneak peek of what's going on in Livingston County. Mike, what do we got cooking?
Hey, Chris. Thanks for having us again. First up, the smart meters are coming. I got the official notification from National Grid that the smart meter program is going to be rolled out here. There's going to be a big media campaign that you'll start to see. And then there will be a letter coming to you as a customer, and then they will actually swap your meter. And then there will be a post-installation letter. So look for that coming. And again, what's the difference? The smart meter eliminates the meter reading person. The guy who right now for National Grid is driving by with a wand in the truck, that will be gone. All of the meters will be read by the central office via a power line carrier technology where they speak over the power lines. So many other areas of the country already have this. This is just new to us. We had a town board meeting this past week on the 5th. We did sign the permission slip for the U.S. Department of Agriculture to do their invasive insect survey. That means that you will start to see the insect traps around the town, out in the country, et cetera, trying to get a handle on some of these pests that are coming in from other areas and sort of disrupting the farming and such. We also had a lively discussion regarding a smaller, more focused water district. 6 different configurations were presented by the Livingston County Water and Sewer Authority, along with Clark Patterson Lee, the town engineers. If you want to see the handouts from the meeting, go to the town website, lima-newyork.org, and that's NY for New York. Select the town water tab in the left column, and they're listed under the March 5th meeting. A lot of choices. In order to move forward, it will have to be narrowed down to 1. I suspect there will be a whole different set of choices at the next meeting. There is a map that's included in there. You can check if your property is included or not. Your input is welcome. And so if you have thoughts on it and you can't get to the town board meeting, certainly send me an email, supervisor@townoflima.org, or the next town board meeting is April 2nd, 6:30 p.m. And watch your mail for notification for a public meeting that will be coming up, TBD, in the next couple of months. I did attend this past Thursday the proclamation ceremony for the Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month in Livingston County. We did that at the Arc down in Mount Morris. They do have an assembly shop there where they do piecework, putting small parts together, the bag, the warranty card, the little parts, etc. They also have a very high-end print shop. A couple of issues are affecting their ability to maintain an operation there. They are always, of course, looking for new customers to do piecework for. They were assembling the catch dogs that go into the new windows, that thing that allows the window to tip out and tip in, slides up and down. Previously, they were doing an awful lot of assembly for Crossman. But of course, we all know that Crossman has sort of downsized itself, and much of its operation has left. So they have excess capacity. The other thing is, and it's going to be affecting not only the Arc, but anybody that has one of those bottle return processing places, is the minimum wage is going up. Minimum wage going up and the bottle deposit not going up has created sort of a pinch point. So there's legislation right now in Albany that people with developmental disabilities need to get minimum wage. And there's a number of people on both sides of that argument. Right now, developmental disability folks are not paid a minimum wage. They're sort of paid kind of as they go according to ability. Pushing it to the higher level is going to eliminate the can return business for the Arc, unless one of the other 2 bills goes through, and they are dealing with increasing the deposit to 10 cents. One of them includes wine bottles and liquor bottles. The other one does not. So both of them are moving around in Albany. They've been moving around for a while. We don't know where that's going to go, but returns of bottles are sort of falling off because as inflation goes, the value of a nickel is less and less. People are less willing to go ahead and put them in. So that 10-cent deposit is probably coming. And that's all I've got, Chris.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Over to Steve, town of Henrietta. Steve, what's going on there?
Howdy. We've set a date for our multicultural event. It's Saturday, June 8th at 3 p.m. at the Recreation Center. We had our first one last year. It went over really well. Henrietta has a very diverse community, and we basically wanted to celebrate a number of those cultures that are in the town and get participants from those cultures at the events. It was wildly successful. In fact, one can argue too successful. And what I mean by that is there were long lines at the food trucks. So we greatly underestimated the participation. And so this year we hope to have more food trucks to alleviate that issue. RIT has joined the town in its efforts to create a Seneca Heritage Riverwalk Trail. That means we'll extend the trail up through the RIT campus, north through the RIT campus. Previously, it stopped somewhere about a quarter of the way up the campus because there was no place to extend the sidewalks. And so RIT is going to bring that internal to their campus and continue up the river. They'll also be adding additional exhibits or sites on campus, celebrating the Seneca Nation heritage. As I've stated before, far too many of our history books start when colonials arrived in the area, and obviously there's been human history for long before that. So we're looking to celebrate some of that. We've started to put together signage. We've been working with the Seneca Nation to put that together. So very excited about those efforts. The Office of Cannabis Management approved a third retail cannabis licensee in Henrietta, Mango Cannabis, located at 3553 West Henrietta Road, the former Chappie's Hots restaurant. I'm not sure why about 1% of all approved retail cannabis dispensaries have been approved in Henrietta, but that's how it is. We're trying to find out if there have been any other approvals anywhere else in Monroe County. Last I knew, we had the only two, and I'll be curious if we now have the only three. The town meets with the DEC next week to review the town's proposed compost facility on town property and visit the proposed site. The goal is to relocate the problematic compost site from Erie Station Road, since the low-lying property there is leading to periodic significant odor issues that have been negatively affecting neighboring properties. The high and dry nature of the town's proposed site should greatly eliminate these issues. The site is our fill site, where we bring millings and concrete grindings. And so basically that's created a large level area that's largely impervious. So the current compost site has, there's a spring underneath, and that seems to be percolating up through the compost, adding to the odor issues. And again, that shouldn't happen here. In addition, we're relocating our leaf and brush drop off to this site, which makes it a much more central location. And then that leaf and brush can be chipped and mulched and added to the organic material, which both produces a better mulch as well as also helps control odor. So the goal is at the new site, there won't be any odor issues. If there are, they will have to modify their operations. And if they can't completely eliminate the site, then they will have to shut down. But we're excited to support the composting efforts, and we think this will be a great use of town, what's otherwise useless town land. Our street light upgrades are close to 50% complete. The crews have been prioritizing any street lights that are not operating. The new LED street lights are fully dark sky compliant. We also decided to go to 2 levels of color temperature, both of which are below the brighter thresholds that can disrupt the diurnal cycles and of nocturnal animals. So basically, it's 25 or maybe I think it was 3,000 Kelvin for the colonials, or what most people think is neighborhood street lights, and then 4,000 for the Cobra heads that are over intersections. We decided to go a little brighter at the intersections so that you can spot them and they're better illuminated, especially with regards to crosswalks. So probably be done with most of those upgrades in 2 to 3 weeks. We just last week took ownership of the clubhouse, the maintenance barn, driving range, and parking lot for the golf course. So we've always owned the golf course, but there was always this weird arrangement where a third party owned a parcel to the south. So we have acquired that. We're taking over operations. A lot of work to do on the property because it was not in great condition, but we're getting ramped up for that. And we fully expect to have the golf course open and operating in May. So that's taken a lot of crew works. We just made the selection and approved the purchase of the equipment for our spray park. So we'll get that order in, and the site preparation has already begun. And got a lot of other projects going on in town, but that's about it for now.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Over to John Moffett, Town of Mendon. What's going on there?
Good afternoon. Couple of things. Some of our street lights in and around the hamlet are being upgraded, as some of my other elected officials had mentioned in their correspondence today. The Assembly Drive, those are being replaced by RG&E. In the hamlet, there are some decorative street lights that belong to the town of Mendon, and we are responsible for those street lights. Some of them have fallen into disrepair, so we're looking at possibly replacing some or all of those with a new pole and a new light, because even the globes that have been damaged on the older street lights are we're not able to get a hold of any of those that match. So we're looking into that. Also, with spring in mind, as we've had some pretty good weather lately for late February and early March, we're ordering some new chairs for the spray park. As I've talked to many of the people who were there, many of the adults who wanted some more seating areas. And that is supposed to open in late May, around Memorial Day, traditionally. However, if we continue to see this uptick in weather, the town board may decide to open it up a little bit sooner. We'll see how we do over the next month or so. Also, and with that same park on Summerall Road, the Dreisbeck Park, we are engaging a surveyor to survey the property and the current playing fields, with hopefully an opportunity to extend some of the playing fields so that we have more fields for use of our residents. Also, once again, I'm on Summerall Road, but now on the west side of the highway department. There's a playground there, and we had a lot of problems with that last year with mulch, weeds, bees, you name it. So the town board is considering purchasing some of the rubber mulch that many playgrounds have to put around the exterior of the playground to make it provide less maintenance, make it safer for the children who are taking advantage of that playground. Also in front of the town board at our next meeting is a contract with the engineer to hire them to do the sidewalk project that I've been talking about for the last few months. So we're continuing to move that, and it won't be long before our banners and flags go up, as many of my fellow municipalities are, I'm sure, considering getting those kinds of spring things out. It's great to see, and will certainly be followed up with some flowers in various municipalities, as well as the hamlet of Mendon. And we're all looking forward to that kind of weather. Thank you.
All right, thanks, John. Anybody else have anything they might want to add? Seeing none. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all there in Watchland, whatever you want to call it. Since it's not TV, we can't call it TV land. We're airing every Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and those platforms will notify you when this show airs. That's all for this week. We'll see you all next week. Bye-bye for now.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.